Hi, today I am here with Rhett Stanley.
Hi.
And we are going to talk a little bit about type 1 diabetes today. And I'm going to interview Rhett a little bit and let him talk to you about what it's like to live with type 1 diabetes. So today I've been working on my letter that I send out every year to friends and family and supporters of our JDRF walk, because our JDRF 1 walk is Saturday, September 24th, 2016. I hope you can join us. But I wanted to talk to Rhett a little bit today about living with type 1 diabetes. So, Rhett, you were 4 years old when you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, right?
Right.
Do you remember anything about being diagnosed?
No.
No, you were too little. Do you ever remember anything about life without type 1 diabeties before
I
you?
do remember one thing.
Okay, what do you remember?
I had a seizure. That's all I remember.
You had a seizure, that's right.
On the way to the doctor.
That's right. We about 6 months before Rhett was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, Rhett had a febrile seizure that we kind of think is the trigger. Type 1 diabetes, for those of you who don't know, is an autoimmune disease. It is where, for whatever reason, Rhett's body attacked itself and killed the cells of his pancreas that make insulin. And you normally are born with the antibodies, and then you can at any point have a trigger. Sometimes that can be environmental, sometimes it can be through a virus, and they're not 100% sure. Researchers aren't 100% sure on the cause of these triggers or even the antibodies. But we do not know, we think Rhett's seizure 6 months prior to diagnosis was his trigger for type 1 diabetes. So, when we first started, and for several years, we did shots. Tell me some things about you remembered when we did shots. How many times did you get a shot every day?
3 times a day.
4 times a day.
Oh, 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm. You would get one shot that was your 24-hour shot that would give you a little bit of insulin all day, and then every time you ate. Well, what if you went to a birthday party and had cake and ice cream? What did you do then?
Poke myself.
So you had to have another shot, right? So usually it was 4 times a day, but sometimes it could have been more.
5 or 6.
Right. And now you're on an insulin pump, right? And do you like your insulin pump?
Yes.
So what's your favorite thing about your insulin pump?
It doesn't hurt when I give insulin.
It doesn't hurt. So when you gave shots 4 or 5 times a day, you got poked 4 or 5 times a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you get poked 1 time every 3 days, right?
Right.
Because we'll poke to insert the pump, and then you get to wear it 3 days without us changing it. But it doesn't hurt when it gives yourself insulin for those 3 days, right?
Right.
And were you able to give yourself your own shots?
Yes.
You were?
No.
No?
I'm kidding.
Okay. Sometimes we would have to help, right?
Yes.
But are you able to give your own insulin through your pump?
Yes.
So it gives you more freedom, doesn't it?
Yes. I couldn't remember.
That's okay. And if you went to a birthday party and ate cake and ice cream now, which you probably couldn't do because of celiac, but if you were to do that, now you could have insulin through your pump, right? So you wouldn't be getting an extra shot like you did back when we were doing shots. You also wear a continuous glucose monitor, right?
Right.
Tell me what is your favorite part about that?
Well, it updates my sugar every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. That's what I like about it.
It updates your sugar every 5 minutes. And what I like about it is it goes to my phone. So can I show them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let me move this a little bit. Right there is Rhett's continuous glucose monitor. See it? And it's got a transmitter on it that will transmit a signal via Bluetooth to his cell phone. And then that signal will go to the cloud, and the cloud goes to my cell phone. And then we get numbers. Let's see if we're getting numbers right now, because we may be too far from the cell phone. But we'll look and see. Yes, right now. And I'm going to show this off anyway, because this is just real life, folks. Rhett is at 238 and steady. Okay? Rhett probably needs to go take a little dose of insulin. We had a late lunch today, and we probably need to do something about that. So, but the cool thing is it gives alarms if it's too high and if it's too low, right? So, because what's dangerous about being high? Do you know?
I know.
What's dangerous about being high?
You can go too high and can you die?
You can die if you went a long time without being treated high, right? Mm-hmm. You would go into what's called DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, which is where your body can't break down sugar because it doesn't have any insulin, and it starts breaking down fat and turning into acid, and the acid is not good for your body, which is what turns into a diabetic coma, if you've ever heard of one of those. And also, that's just long-term high, like if you were long for days and days. But also, every high has damages. Like it could give your kidneys problems, and your heart problems, and your circulation problems, and your eyes problems. So we want to keep from going high. But what are some of the dangers of going too low?
You can also die from that too.
Yeah, if you
go too low, you can also die from that.
Yes.
Because if you don't trade it.
That's right.
Like if you don't drink any juice or get a snack or anything, you just die.
Right. Is that common? No, it's not very common. It would be very hard, but it is the scariest part about diabetes. It's what happens the quickest. So I have alarms for that too. How do you feel when you go low?
I used to feel like that I was going to pass out, but now I don't.
No, you don't, because you have an alarm that catches it before it goes too low, correct?
Right.
Okay. So we're getting ready for walk season, and we're raising money for all these new things that were coming out. And I hope to have more videos later about the artificial pancreas and encapsulation and smart insulin and all the great research that's out there. But what we really want is a cure. So tell me, or tell the audience, something that you would do right after you got cured. What are some things you would do right after you got cured?
Maybe, I don't know. I maybe had a cookie. I would have a cookie and not go for it.
Right. Would you ever poke your finger ever again?
Nope.
Nope. And would you ever have to wear any kind of device ever again?
Nope.
And would you worry at all about eating or drinking or going to the pool and any of your devices falling off?
Nope.
Nope. It would just be worry-free, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be cool? So wouldn't you love Rhett to be worry-free and for Mom to be worry-free? Who else is type 1 diabetic in our house?
My brother.
Robbie. So Robbie, his oldest brother, is 23 years old, and he was diagnosed 3 years after Rhett, but when Robbie was 18. Rhett was 4 when he was diagnosed. 3 years later, when Rhett was 7, Robbie, who was 18 at the time, was diagnosed, which is unusual to be diagnosed that late in life, but not as uncommon as some people think. So we have 2 boys, 2 out of 3. Ryan is our non-type 1, and we'd like to keep him that way. And some of the research that JDRF does works on prevention so that we can keep Ryan from being type 1. And also, we don't want Rhett's kids or Robbie's kids one day to be type 1. So if you'd like to help us with our walk, first of all, we'd love to invite you to come to our walk and walk with us. It's a real easy, little over a mile. It's very laid back. Bring the kids, bring the dog. There's bounce houses and face painting and food and fun. Isn't it fun? It's a lot of fun. Rhett's friends come. So come and support us if you can. We're called Team Kiss My Pancreas, and we'd love your help. I'm also going to put a link below this video so that you can donate online if you'd like to with a secure location with your credit card, or you can message me and you can send me a check the old-fashioned way, and you can make that check out to JDRF. So thanks for listening to us today. We appreciate you taking over 8 minutes of your time, and I'm going to let Rhett have the last word.
Okay, if you want me to see more videos, guys, just comment section below. Just say, I want Rhett to be in more videos. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.